It's more efficient to fail, even if you can't find a solution. It's crazy. And so, yeah, 10,000 times. I've probably failed. I haven't done the math, but I suspect hundreds of thousands of times, right? Writing code, doing VR, doing bad things, and that's where you learn. At least if you're smart about it, right? If you look back, why did I fail, and kind of analyze that and fail intentionally and fail smartly and learn from the experience. So how do you get to 10,000 or 100,000 times fast? Become a VR developer. So, virtual reality is crazy. What you think is going to work with virtual reality, sometimes it does, but more often it does not. You have this great idea, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? Then you go try it, and it's like, wow, that didn't work. Or vice versa. Sometimes you think, oh, I tried that before, that won't work. Then your buddy says, I'm going to try it anyways. Then it works because you change something slightly, right? So a whole lot of experimentation. That's what makes VR, interesting and fun, and all of that is, if you got to be open to failure, not just code, but just whether you're a UX person, whether you're an artist, whatever, what looks good as a 2D artist might be completely different in VR, or even a 3D model in a game, right? In VR, now that you're seeing with both eyes, it's like things can be actually quite a bit different in some cases, and so a whole lot of learning and messing up will occur. Now that does not mean, as I was saying, that you just blindly fail, right? You be smart, you record your data, you kind of figure out why did I fail, right? You do it intentionally, and there's processes out there, right? Now, not a specific process, because the process is a continual sort of development as well, right? Because the process worked on a previous project, if it was an industrial project, might not be appropriate for a game, right? So even that changes, not just the thing that you're creating. But there are things to think about, right? So we can do sketches, we can do task analysis, we can think of how did the system components fit together in block diagrams, sort of all these things, right? That we can think about, and gaining experience definitely helps. So I'm not saying that experience isn't useful, but really having that attitude of open to doing things differently, and that I don't know it all. We'll never know everything about virtual reality. 100 years in the future, we can't even define reality right now. That's one reality. How the heck do we expect to know the answers for all these diverse, crazy realities when we can't even understand the one reality of the real world, right? And so you really have to have the open mind when it comes to making things in virtual reality. So not time to go into those things. Those are just sort of some things to think about. And then, of course, the learn stage, that's where that failure pays off, right? Going back and looking at what you've done. But also setting up the learning so that we're setting ourselves up for failure in a positive way, right? In a way that we can learn from that experience and not just get upset and say, well, I'll never do that again, right? Maybe you need to tweak something, or, try to figure out, talk to other people, right? Maybe they have some ideas, you're too close to the problem. Learn from what you've done. And so levels of competence, right? This isn't about VR, this is more than VR, right? This is about us as humans, right? We have sort of, you don't know what you don't know, right? There's a whole lot of things about biology that I just have no idea I don't know them because I just haven't thought about them, right? So that's sort of my unconscious incompetence, right? I don't know that I'm horrible at something. But then you can become aware of it, and now I realize that I'm really horrible at that thing, and it can be, a painful process, right? But then if I continue, getting good at that, I start, I'm starting to understand the problem. I'm starting to, figure it out. I'm starting to get good at it, lots and lots of practice. And you consciously, okay, I'm pretty good at this. But then when you reach mastery, that's where you don't even think about it anymore, right? Where you're able to reach out with the hand controllers. You don't think about, you master the buttons when you just become one with the buttons or one with the tool brush. You don't even think about the tool anymore. It's just part of you, right? So that's unconscious competence. And then something comes and smacks you in the face, and you realize, oh, there's something else I had no idea that I didn't know, right? And so then you go and learn a whole lot of things again. So I kind of, when it comes to VR development, I kind of think about this. There's lots of different names. I just call it the define, make, learn cycle, right? But iteration, right? Of when you define it up front, you're not going to get it right. When it comes to VR development, don't expect to get it right. Definitely have that vision. I'm not saying don't plan things out, have a goal you're trying to achieve, but be open to, pivot, right? Pivot on something. Some things, you don't want to compromise. but be willing to try new things and learn from those and prepare to do that many, many, many times. Okay, so in my mind, this is not a bad thing. I mean, this is really empowering if you can kind of let go of that ego, right? What if our kids or us adults, none of us feared failure, like Thomas Edison, or you hear these stories about Michael Jordan and Abraham Lincoln that was they said was a failure in many things before he became president, right? What if we could go through life or virtual life, whatever it might be, those flight simulators, those dangerous situations of fighting a fire, right? We're working with first responders, firefighters, and such. What if we can practice those dangerous situations over and over again, and it's okay if you fail, right? Virtual reality creates those safe places to fail, and so I really think we have the opportunity to create and experience these new worlds in a safe manner that can allow us to be sort of take on education, for example, with kids not worrying about if they got the test wrong. Right? It's about the learning. It's not about the grade you got or whatever. It's okay to fail. So in my mind, this is like really powerful. Again, if we can let go of the ego and we can kind of see, our creations and our failures and the world as an experiment, then that's really going to allow us to change the world, the virtual worlds as well as virtual and real worlds. And so, what to do? So, well, let's go to this slide first. So, what about you? Like, what's your interest in how we could use virtual reality for entertainment? Entertainment, it's good. We all need entertainment, but it might be something else as well, right? Maybe it is to change the world or do something that you're just really passionate about, right? Maybe it's art. And not worry so much about, oh, wow, I just learned a whole lot today about that I didn't know, and now I don't know it. So it's that sort of conscious incompetence, right? That's okay. That's actually a really powerful